In 2025, a bold and intense blockbuster introduces a face transplant cream. Just by transplanting someone else's face onto your own, you can have their beautiful appearance. A friendly reminder. This film can be as intense as certain substances, so viewers with low psychological tolerance should watch cautiously. There was a beautiful little girl named Xiaowei, who had a hereditary birthmark on her face. Her father was a scientist working on a skin transplant technique to cure his daughter's birthmark. Before proceeding, he tested it on himself by attaching a genetically modified mouse's skin to his own face. The skin surprisingly fused with his face, but unexpectedly, the experiment went out of control. It started spreading rapidly across his face, threatening to cover his mouth. His daughter came to check on him and found that his mouth was already covered, along with his nose and eyes. Ultimately, the man suffocated to death. Xiaowei grew up and was nicknamed Ugly Duckling by others. However, due to her excellent academic performance, she received a scholarship, and her aunt took her to New Zealand. Xiaowei pursued medical research at a prestigious university and met her sharp-tongued cousin Angela at her aunt's house. Angela mocked her for not speaking English, but Xiaowei spoke it well, leaving Angela speechless. Xiaowei excelled in school, making everyone envious and spiteful, gossiping behind her back. While everyone else went home after class, Xiaowei stayed to continue her research. Paul Zhang discovered Xiaowei's father's notes and learned he was a scientist. He wanted Xiaowei to be his assistant. Angela brought her close friends to visit Xiaowei's room, only to find scissors and bloodstains instead of cosmetics. The group quickly left Xiaowei's room. When Xiaowei returned, Angela had brought two new friends, Eve and Molly. They were applying face masks and watching a movie, while Xiaowei ate seafood noodles, filling the room with the smell of scallops and shrimp. The three were driven away by the smell. Seeing Angela and her friends laughing, Xiaowei wanted to join their fun, so she invited them out for a meal. She took them to a Chinese restaurant, where Angela noticed Xiaowei stealing the spotlight. Angela's mood soured as her friends' attention shifted to Xiaowei. Angela ordered delicious roast chicken and pork belly, but no one knew how to use chopsticks. One tried and failed, so Xiaowei helped serve the food, leaving them to eat with their hands. Eve wanted a fork and knife, but they weren't available. Xiaowei urged Angela to eat quickly. She said she couldn't use chopsticks and chose not to eat. Eve didn't want to use her hands to grab food either, so she didn't eat. But Xiaowei didn't care. She picked up a chicken claw and stuffed it into her mouth, making a slurping sound. Eve couldn't stand it anymore and decided to leave. Xiaowei looked puzzled. Eve and Angela left. Although she still wanted to eat, Molly had to leave with them, leaving Xiaowei to enjoy the delicious food alone. If she couldn't finish it, she'd have to take it with her. Feeling frustrated, she confided in a homeless man on the street, saying she felt ugly. The homeless man told her she was already beautiful. Xiaowei was moved to tears. When she got home, she found Angela flirting with her boyfriend. Angela noticed Xiaowei's return and immediately sent her boyfriend home. The reason was she didn't want her boyfriend to smell the rotten food odor on Xiaowei, so she yelled at her. Xiaowei cried alone in her room. Paul hired Xiaowei as his assistant, and they started working together on research. Initially, Xiaowei performed well, but then some unfortunate news came about Xiaowei's social skills. Paul was embarrassed by her lack of social skills and decided not to employ Xiaowei anymore, replacing her with Molly as his new assistant. Xiaowei was very upset. From then on, she began conducting research on her own, determined to make herself beautiful. She made a breakthrough by attaching a piece of mouse skin to her leg. All she needed was to inject a special serum, and the skin would perfectly integrate with her leg. At this time, Eve was diligently studying in the lab. Paul noticed this scene and went over to check, leaving Eve aside. When Paul checked Xiaowei's experiment, Eve saw it and mistakenly thought they were having an affair. Xiaowei dared to ruin her plans. While Paul was checking Xiaowei's experiment progress, Eve secretly took a photo. She wanted Xiaowei to know how dangerous the world could be. Paul was shocked after seeing Xiaowei's research. He had never seen such a method of cellular self-repair. It would be a major breakthrough in the medical field. Paul became selfish. Just as Xiaowei left her notebook under the paraffin, he stole it and had someone translate the text. If he could steal and use Xiaowei's father's research, he could dominate the medical field. Eve sent the photo to Angela, framing Xiaowei. Angela was furious and went home to confront Xiaowei, but she wasn't there. Angela found a note left by Xiaowei, but she couldn't read Chinese, so she used her phone to translate it, only to find out the note was badmouthing her. Angela called her mother, wanting to. The mother drove Xiaowei away, but instead of blaming Angela, she warned that if she targeted Xiaowei again, she would send her away. Furious, she waited for Xiaowei to return to teach her a lesson and show her the power of a cousin. At this moment, Xiaowei was called out by someone and taken to a secluded place, where she was verbally attacked and insulted without any restraint. Accused of selling her body for grades, Xiaowei explained she didn't do such a thing, but Eve didn't believe her and sarcastically called her a freak. Xiaowei was so upset she cried. When she got home, she found Angela had smashed her father's memorial, adding to her already bad mood, until Angela set it on fire, leading to a fight between the two women. Angela grabbed Xiaowei by the neck, choking her. Xiaowei, struggling to breathe, grabbed something without thinking and used it to attack Angela. When she got up, she realized a fire had started, and Angela was already dead. Her mother was on her way back home. Xiaowei started crying uncontrollably, insisting it wasn't intentional, as she was mentally shocked. She dragged Angela into the bathroom, deciding to bring her back, but with death being irreversible, how could she do that? She removed Angela's face, injected a special serum, and attached it to her own face. After a spasm, she realized it had worked. She had transformed into Angela, and her birthmark was gone. Finally, she was beautiful. She hid Angela's body under the bed. Her aunt returned home and didn't notice anything unusual about the fake daughter. The dog, attracted by the scent of the warden, was quickly kicked inside by Xiaowei, who had bloodstains on her, making her aunt think she was on her period. She successfully impersonated Angela and became her aunt's daughter. Xiaowei began to learn Angela's every move. Her aunt left for work, and today Xiaowei dressed up and went to school, unexpectedly drawing attention. Angela's boyfriend immediately hugged her and kissed her without a word, awakening Xiaowei's romantic feelings. He even asked her out for a fun afternoon, so she dressed up beautifully to meet him, and they went to a place. In a deserted field, they imagined sweet romantic moments, but just then, Xiaowei's face started to crack. Her boyfriend noticed something was wrong, and a warm liquid dripped from her face onto his. Frightened, she backed away and accidentally fell off a cliff. Xiaowei went to check and found she had fallen to her death. Anxious, Xiaowei returned to find a notebook that recorded a way to save her. Paul doesn't answer the phone because she's stealing the notes of Xiaowei's father's research. With no other choice, Xiaowei injects the remaining potion into Angela's face, then wears this face over her own to temporarily transform into Angela. Unable to find the notes, Xiaowei becomes angry and irritable. She sets her sights on Eve. If she gets this perfect face, she will become even more beautiful and charming, so she tricks Eve into coming to her house. She starts attacking Eve frantically, showing a ferocious face, scaring Eve into turning and running. Panicked, Eve runs into the garden, but unfortunately, the gate is locked, and she can't get out. Eve has to hide behind a tree. To avoid being discovered, she decisively hides in the pool. Xiaowei, holding a drill, chases after her, and Eve hides underwater. Xiaowei also comes to the poolside, but Eve is about to run out of breath. The bubbles she exhales make a gurgling sound, which Xiaowei hears. Xiaowei crouches down like catching a fish, quickly grabs her hair, and pulls her up. A drill goes down, and her skull is shattered. Xiaowei is already unrecognizable, her mind twisted to the point of collapse. Now, she only has the desire to become beautiful. For this, she will stop at nothing. She uses the same method to put Eve's face on her own, transforming into Eve's appearance. 2 police officers come to investigate a missing person. Seeing Eve's disheveled appearance, they only leave a phone number without checking the room. Xiaowei becomes even more beautiful this time. People have to take a second look when they see her. Molly asks her about Angela's disappearance. She lies to her friend, saying she doesn't know. Xiaowei suspects Paul of stealing her notes and goes to class. During Paul's lecture, she uses her charm to lure Paul out, then uses her charm to get close to Paul, wanting to know if he stole her notes. How Xiaowei handles the body. One is secretly thrown away, the rest is used to feed the dog. He becomes unusually hungry, eating seafood shrimp with ketchup. Several phones receive various messages, making his head nearly explode. Through Eve's phone, he learns that Eve framed him. He smiles because Eve has already answered. Xiaowei goes to Paul's house again and finds him conducting research. While he's not paying attention, she checks his cabinet and finds the potion Paul developed using her notes. She secretly puts the potion into her bag. After she leaves, Paul discovers that Eve stole that vial of potion. Since face swapping has a time limit, she has to remove someone else's face, revealing her own. Molly visits the house and accidentally discovers Xiaowei's secret. Xiaowei, with a determined heart, stomps her foot and grits her teeth, and gets rid of Molly too. Xiaowei is now completely out of control. After regaining her senses, she clings to her only friend, crying her heart out, when Paul finds his way to Xiaowei's home. He discovers the clothes he's wearing and learns that Xiaowei disguised herself as him to steal the serum, so he asks where the clothes are. Xiaowei doesn't answer but instead yells that Paul stole her father's research. Paul just laughs, saying he wants to change the world, as long as she returns his serum. Xiaowei tells him the serum is in the fridge, but when he opens it, he's shocked to find the clothes Xiaowei had killed. Then, a tube of unknown liquid is injected into Paul's body. When Paul wakes up, he sees Xiaowei dancing wildly in front of him, then she covers his mouth with a piece of pigskin. She then injects him with a serum specially prepared for him, causing the pigskin to adhere to his mouth. To help him breathe, she inserts a straw. Xiaowei has gone mad, thinking that with this research, everyone will love her, and she will no longer be the ugly duckling in others' eyes. The neighbor lady sees this scene and runs out to seek help. Xiaowei quickly packs her bags to flee, and after Paul's face is completely covered, she starts to escape outside. The police arrive and begin searching the area, leaving Xiaowei with nowhere to run. A police car spots Xiaowei trying to escape and starts to capture her. Xiaowei runs to a homeless person to hide, accidentally breaking the serum. A terrible scene unfolds as the police arrive but can't find Xiaowei because the serum caused her to mutate, merging her with the homeless person. Her aunt comes out looking for her daughter and Xiaowei but is scared away by the homeless person because Xiaowei has turned into a monster.